Hooty-hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. We're June 30th. Stock market, once again, new record high. New record high. We get those every day now. Isn't it great? Stock market only goes up. Well, actually, I'm expecting a pullback. I am. The VIX is telling us that it's too low. VIX is going to go up. Market's going to come down. I'm waiting for that pullback. We may or may not get it. Maybe the Fed will just inflate the market higher. What I want to talk today about is real estate. A lot of stuff going on in real estate right now. I'm sure you've all heard. Good news, eviction moratorium extended out another month. No one's got to pay their rent this month. Hey, that's pretty cool, right? That's more money for the stock market. It'll make it go higher. Well, what we got in California, we got about 5 million rental units in California. Now, out of those 5 million, we got the 1 million not paying their rent. And Newsom, the good news is, Governor Newsom, he's going to pay the rent for you. Isn't that great? 1 million people don't have to pay their rent because the governor's going to pick up the tab. Now, what about the 4 million people that are paying their rent? Does he pick up their tab? Does he send them money? No, he doesn't. No. So these 4 million people are not quite as smart as the 1 million people not paying the rent. Now, what's really funny to me, now you may not find this so funny, especially if you don't live in California. Look at California, 1 million people aren't paying their rent. Governor Newsom's going to pay their rent for them. Okay, where's that money coming from? It's coming from federal taxpayers. It's federal money. So let's say you live in New York. Aren't you happy that you get to pay for the deadbeat renters in California? I bet you're really happy about that. A lot of people not so happy. Now, is this eviction moratorium ever going to end? The CDC, they extended it out another month. Now, I really do not understand why the CDC has power to change the contract between a renter and the landlord. How do they have that power? It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the judges ruled that the CDC does have the power. Shocking to me. I've lived in this country all my life. I don't understand what's going on right now. But that's just me. I'm sure you got it all figured out. Well, what we got is we got millions and millions of people behind on their rent. Okay, in California alone, we got 1 million. But let's say we got in the nation 2, 3, 4 million, 20 million. I don't know how many, but these people are eventually going to have to start paying their rent, aren't they? Maybe they're not. Maybe we just cancel the rent. Maybe people that have mortgages, they don't have to pay those either. Mortgage forbearance gets extended out every time. Are these programs ever going to come to an end? It doesn't look like they are. It really doesn't. But here's what we got. We got a change going on in the real estate market. Now, full disclosure, I am a real estate broker, so I follow this stuff very close. We have a shift going on, a change. All right, so that before there's been this fear of missing out of buying a house. We're going to run out of houses to sell. There's this fear of missing out. Well, right now, there's a lot of people that want to cash out at these high prices. They want to cash out. They want to get their money out because all their money, they're house rich, but they don't have any money. But if they can sell their house for $1 million, all of a sudden they just got rich. They got rich and they want to do it before the collapse comes. So a lot of inventory starting to come on the market. Just in the last month, the difference between May to June, about 6 to 7% more houses have come onto the market. Now, inventory's still down year over year. Okay, I get that, but it's starting to ramp up. The shift is coming. Now, what's going to change? What's changing here? Well, it's there's a fear of not being able to cash out before the collapse. Okay, so we're starting to see more inventory come on, which is going to send prices down. Now, real estate's very central to each market. I know some of you are going, well, not in my market, Mike, there's nothing for sale. Well, that's going to change. It's going to change. Okay, now what if interest rates go up? Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? Now, I know you say interest rates can't go up. The Fed's in control of interest rates. Well, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I think we're going to get a spike up in interest rates, and I think it's going to really send the housing market down. This the cure for these high prices. Okay, so prices have never been more at a record high. Rent prices have never been at a record high. Now, granted, you don't have to pay your rent because, well, in our state, the governor's going to pay it for you. But the people that are paying their rent, they keep jacking it up. Rent prices are going higher. But here's the cure for the high prices, okay? People can no longer afford to pay their rent. That's why the governor's doing it. People can no longer afford. They're running out of people that can afford to actually buy a house. Can you still afford to buy a house? It's going to get so high that just the property taxes alone, even if you come in with all cash in my area, heck, things are selling over $2 million for little tract homes. Now, what's the property tax on that? It's $24,000 a year. That's $2,000 each month. Pretty soon, property taxes are going to be more than your mortgage. Okay, now people, there's a few people that can still afford it because houses still do sell pretty quick in my area. A house comes on, a week later it's sold. Okay, but it's taken a little bit longer and a few more houses are coming on. I think that the buyers are starting to think, wow, maybe I'll just sit back. Maybe I'll just sit back and wait and see what happens. Can the prices double from here? I suppose they could. I don't think they will. I don't think there's that fear of missing out anymore. I think that fear is kind of dissipating. And I think a lot of people want to put their home on the market for sale. You see, during the pandemic, as a broker, I had some people that had their homes for sale and some people that wanted to, put their home on the market. But the ones that had their home for sale, they took it off because they didn't want people coming through their house during the pandemic. They didn't want people walking around and touching things. That's starting to change right now. Those people are starting to put their homes back on the market. And the people that held their home off that didn't want to sell, well, they're starting to think about selling now. So people are starting to sell and people are, they're starting to think about putting their homes on the market. Now, the market's going to change. These programs, they're going to come to an end. I joke about it. Now, in California, I think the governor's already extended out the eviction moratorium all the way till the end of September. But, how many times can he do this? Can he keep doing it forever? I mean, he's trying to buy your vote. Hey, if you're one of those deadbeat tenants, vote for me. I'm not paying my rent, so the governor's going to let me stay here for free. I might as well vote for the governor in our state. We're trying to recall this governor. I think he's an idiot. A lot of people think he's an idiot, but he's got a lot of power, got a lot of people behind him. He's got Nancy Pelosi behind him. I think he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew, as a matter of fact. Oh yeah, he's got power. He's not going anywhere, but he is trying to buy the votes, trying to buy those deadbeat renters that aren't paying the rent. Now, I know people need help right now. I know the country's in a crisis, but we got to have some law in the country. You can't just go out and change contract law, the law between the tenant and the landlord. You can't just go erase that law. That law's in there for a reason. Okay, it's the only business. Now, being a landlord is a business, okay? And it's a business, and when you're in business, you like to get paid for your goods and services. Look, I not walk into a grocery store and just load up my cart with groceries and walk out the door without paying. No, someone's going to come and stop me. But real estate's different. You can take the goods and services and pay. Pay. Now, maybe the governor will start to pay for groceries. Maybe he'll start to pay for my groceries. I think that'd be great because grocery prices keep going up. They keep going up. They keep inflating. But they'll tell you this inflation stuff, it's transitory. But I think the housing market has shifted. I think people are starting to use their brain a little bit and say, hey, maybe prices are too high. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll rent for a while. Maybe I'll actually sell my home and go rent and see if a crash actually happens. After all, Tall Mike thinks there's going to be a crash. I do. I think the crash is going to be percent. We'll see if I'm right. It's going to take time to play out. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen next month, but it is going to play out. These programs are going to come to an end. People are going to come to their senses. Now there's a lot of greed in that marketplace. People want to get this high price. Now here's what's happening. All right, so their neighbor, they started, they put their house on at $1 million. Let's say it got bid up to $1.3 million, $1.4 million. Well, their neighbor sees that, goes, oh, I'm going to put mine on at $1.4 million. But right now that $1.4 million, neighbor's going, wait, it's not selling. But that neighbor got $1.4 million. I want $1.4 million. I don't want to lower my price. I want to be like, Bob down the street that got that $1.4 million. I don't want to lower my price. My price is $1.4 million, and I'm not taking a penny less. Well, he may be sitting there a while. And he may be chasing the market down. Now, just how the market goes up, market comes down, and you got to chase it down. The new pricing is going to come in. That $1.4 million may go back to that $1 million. It may go back to even 700,000. It may go down to 500. So, don't be too greedy. If you have a house to sell, it's a very, very good time to sell right now. I hope you make it out before my crash comes. I don't know. I'm just a guy with a computer and a microphone. Yes, I'm a licensed real estate professional. I believe a crash is coming. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong. Houses could double from here. I do not think they will. I think we're going to see a pullback. I think it's going to be about 50%. I'm Tall Mike. If you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. You really like it, hit that subscribe button so we can talk more. I think we're going to talk again. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. We got the long weekend coming. We got the 4th of July. Markets are kind of melting up into this weekend. We'll see if that continues. We'll see. I think that I'm waiting for the pullback. Still waiting for that pullback. Maybe that pullback never happens, but I believe it will. I think the risk reward right here is not what you want to get into. I'm Tall Mike. Get out there. Have a great Wednesday. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye now.